Great news for us Pokemon fans. The Pokemon DLC, the Teal Mask, is finally here. And today, we're going to talk about things that have been added, things that you need to do within the DLC, and a little bit of information with the update to Pokemon. So this is a two-part DLC, just like Sword and Shield. We've got DLC right now, and then we've got the DLC that will come out later on in the year. The price tag's £31 for the bundle for both DLCs. Make sure you get the right version for you. Sword and Shield, so many people got caught out by buying the wrong version. If you have Pokemon Violet, you buy the Pokemon Violet Hidden Treasures. And if you got Pokemon Scarlet, you buy the Hidden Treasures of Area 0 for that one, okay? It says at the beginning, buy the right one, otherwise it will not work. The only differences between the two, there's no story differences, but there are a few exclusive differences in Pokemon, okay? This is the new map. This is the Teal Mask Part 1, first part of the map. In comparison, it is tiny compared to the actual Paldea map, but it is a pretty cool map. You can sort of circle it within 10 minutes, something like that. It's not a massive map, but there is a lot of stuff to go and explore, which I quite like. I bet one of the questions that you're itching to ask, because I know I was, how is the performance? It's not the best, but there are some improvements. The boxes, okay? If you're like me, this has been driving me mad for a long time, but now the boxes pretty much load quickly. You see how quickly these are loading? Like before, it's still a little bit of a delay, but it's pretty much instant compared to what it used to be. You had to wait a good 5 seconds for the box to load. So they finally fixed the boxes with the DLC. That's great. Performance in game though, you still have to wait for grass to like sort of build in as you're driving around. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. And within the fields, especially like this field, you get about 5 FPS. It is shocking. Performance is still hit or miss with this, which is a pain in the ass. One of the things that you want to do though, as soon as you start the game, as soon as you started, you go to this town, you can go to the right over into this field and buy one of these trees that we're next to. One of the teachers from the academy is there, and they will give you a egg that contains one of the Sinnoh starter Pokemon, which is insane. The egg will have one of the 3 random starters. You can't pick the starter, but it will have one of the 3. Stay to the end of this video and we'll see what we get from this egg. So one of the different forms in this DLC that we've seen before is Poltergeist and Sinnoh. They have new forms, and the reversal's been done, so they now Poltergeist evolves into Sinnoh, I believe. It's a little bit confusing. You'll find that they're very common. You can find them in raids pretty easily, 3-star, 4-star raids, pretty commonly. And at night, they spawn around bamboo trees, like where I am right now, in this little area. But then there's also this one in this area. So we're going to fight this now, and we'll see what it is. And I'll show you there's 2 forms. So you get the authentic form, and you get the counterfeit form. We'll see which one we've got right here. Mewtwo doing the work there. Thank you to the Mewtwo gods. So this guy we've destroyed, and we'll go for the catcher now. So you can check Poltergeist from underneath during battle, so you can freeform your camera, and underneath you'll see the bottom will be different between the counterfeit and the authentic. There's a very low chance to get an authentic one, but the easier way and the way that I prefer is if you go and capture it, you'll see under the typing, it says counterfeit form for this one. I am yet to get the non-counterfeit form, but this is like the 7th or 8th counterfeit form from raids and from battles like this. So just keep catching them, eventually you'll get one. To then evolve Poltergeist into Sinnoh, you'll need to get the cracked teacup. There's 2 locations on the map, but you can also do the balloon minigame as a chance to get them as a low spawning rate. The main exclusives from the Teal Mask and DLC Part 1 between the 2 games, Violet will have Applin and Morpeko, and Scarlet will have Cramorant and Gligar as their exclusive. Oxygen has been used to helpful, as always, like the Pokemon God. You go to his Twitter, I'll also have a screen on top and a link down below to his Twitter that will show you the trade codes if you want to exclusively trade. So if we test these codes right now, so you're going to go to link trade and you're going to set a code. Now for Gligar to Applin, it is 02070190. Now depending on the times of days, it depends if you'll be able to get this really quick or really slow. So if you keep finding Violet players, people are going to keep trading your Applins. So we've joined with somebody, and I'm going to put up my Applin because this is the Applin Gligar trade. You click trade it, you see what they're offering, and they were also offering an Applin, so they quit the trade. So then you just back out as it kicks you out. You go link trade, the number's there, you go and trade it again, and we're looking for someone that has a Gligar. And like I said, depending on what time you're playing, there's more Violet players on majority of the time, so it's easier if you're a Scarlet player. Finding a Scarlet player is quite difficult at this time, so we'll try and chuck Applin up again. He's also got an Applin, so we can close out of it and we'll give it another go. I'm not gonna lie, that has taken a little bit longer than I would like, but we have finally found one that has got a Gligar. We're going to click trade it for the Applin. Thank you, Scarlet player. Now I can breed this Gligar if I want to, so the OT is me, if you're inclined that way. I'm trying to build a living dex where it's all me as the OT. So I can now breed this, and it's in my name, so it's good. Bye, Apom. Have fun with your new owner, a DV. And there we go. We have the version exclusive added to the Pokedex. Austin John's amazing. I'm now going to try it with the Chromorant, and we'll see if we can get that a little bit quicker. Okay, for the second one, it's taken me about 6 attempts, and we've managed to get it. So we're going to trade that, and that's all the version exclusives. You can do it in about 15 minutes. So make sure you use Austin John's little template, link down below. If you do check out the Austin John's tweet down below, you'll also see there's a list of 6 Pokemon that are trade requirements for this DLC. It's a bit of a pain, but all of them can be obtained through raids or static Pokemon in the overworld. Feebas's evolution is a Pokemon that you can find and catch in the overworld, and the rest of them are all in raids. So you don't actually need to go and trade Pokemon with anyone, which makes the completing this dex grind a lot easier. Okay, this one's a little bit weird, but hang with me. I had the feeling that the Shiny Charm wouldn't work in DLC maps because you had to complete the dex again. That's not the case. The Shiny Charm definitely does work. As I was taking my stroll around the world, I managed to get this lovely rock buff. I also tweeted it out, so go follow me on X/Twitter. Go do that down below. But this guy is insane, so I managed to get to this a full random shiny odds. I wasn't hunting for it. I was just driving along, and it was there. Very awesome. So to answer the questions, if you had a question like me, the Shiny Charm still works in the DLC, so it's best to get the Shiny Charm before doing the DLC, because then you'll make, as you're just playing the DLC, you might come across some random shinies, and that's always good. The next thing that you want to do, after you've registered 150 Pokemon in the new DLC map, what you want to do is go back to the main town, which is located here. This is where you start off, and right outside where you're staying and where your accommodation is, there's going to be a woman with 2 Hissing Growlithe Pokemon, and you want to talk to that person, because that will initiate the side quest of the Bloodmoon Ursaloona, which is an insane one-off Pokemon that you can get. What you have to do is you have to do a series of small quests that include taking photos, still like Pokemon Snap, a little bit cool of a fun minigame. You then will take on the boss, which is the Ursaloona, the Bloodmoon Ursaloona, and then once you defeat it, you get a chance to capture it. So one-off Pokemon, so make sure that you capture that one. And what I mean by one-off is that you can't evolve into it afterwards. It's like the Ash Greg Ninja. It's a one-off event type Pokemon. You get it once, and that's it. You can't evolve Ursaloona or anything like that. Also ring into Ursaloona. No, it's just one Bloodmoon. Okay. It'll also give you one of the Growliths that is guaranteed to have 3 IVs, max IVs, so that's pretty cool. As mentioned earlier, there's a balloon minigame where you have to go around and burst as many balloons in a certain sequence. If you get the best result in that, so if you get the top tier result in that, you get yourself a shiny Snorlax. Getting the top score is no feat though. So just try and get it, because the shiny Snorlax is worth it. You also get a lot of things from that as well. You'll get the potentials for the Sinnoh evolution items, or the Poltergeist evolution items to make it to Sinnoh, the cracked and the counterfeit and the non-counterfeit ones. Pretty cool. You also get the Mocha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Mocha elements. Basically, you could do EV training with these items, or you could reset your EVs of one Pokemon, which is pretty cool. So if you've EV trained something, you want to reset it, instead of using a ton of berries, you can just use the Mocha. Pretty cool, yeah? You get that from there as well. So just keep doing the balloon challenges. It's work. Okay, so the final point that I wanted to make, and what I found for my limited time playing, I've only put about 10 hours in. The story is, you could complete this, like the story and the 200 decks, in less than 10 hours if you grind it. Now, I'm taking it extremely slow. I'm just cruising around. I'm still breeding right now while I'm making this video. I'm just breeding the starter Pokemon because I never got shinies of them, and I want to get good IV shinies, so we're trying to get a 6 IV shiny right now. I'm just cruising. I want them going back and forth. I'm checking for shinies that are in the overworld because we got the shiny charm. Dual purpose. So I'm actually taking my time in this. I'm having a lot of fun with the DLC. I don't want to rush it through. I say that you do the same. Is it worth it? I mean, it's £31. It's quite a high price tag. The second part of the DLC, just like Sword and Shield's second part of the DLC, is the big DLC. That's where you get the most Pokemon added, the bigger story. So the second part is going to be amazing. This part, it feels like a little bit of a filler. How that as you will. I'm a Pokemon fan. I'm going to buy it anyway. Okay, something that I should have added that I completely forgot about while we're hatching the final egg. I've had no shinies from my Paldea box of eggs that I've bred, so that's unfortunate. So we're going to go and do this Sinnoh one that I was given. But one thing I wanted to mention is that there's a new Applin evolution, and you can buy the eggs for this. You can't patch them up. You can buy the eggs from here. So it's delicious apples. It's right in the corner of the map. It's on the Mossfell confluence. It's on the right side of the map, bottom right. You could buy these here for 500, I believe. Yeah, syrup apples, 500 each. So you need the syrup apple to evolve it. I actually just went and done it in a raid because you could do it in raids. So I didn't even need to get an Applin. And here it is. The Applin. It's the new one. It's a new Applin. I don't like the Applin evolution line, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan. I know it's a fan favorite for a lot of people. It just doesn't float my boat. But you can get it through raids. So you don't have to buy the apples. But if you do, it's 500 and it's in this corner. Okay, should we see what Sinnoh starter we got? I want to know what Sinnoh starter I got. Or is it going to be this one? And just to note, these Sinnoh starters are shiny locked. So you're not going to get shiny from me. You can't keep reloading, picking it up and trying to farm it. We got Piplup. Okay, let's go. Not the one I was expecting, but a nice addition. You can also breed that and trade it up. I believe it's the same sort of stats as if you would get it from professors at the beginning of a game. So it doesn't look anything amazing. Yeah, pretty good, fantastic, pretty good, decent. It's not the best, but now this could be used for breeding purposes, and we can definitely try and get those shinies. Okay, well, this has been the video. I'm Beanny. If you want to subscribe, why don't you? I mean, we upload never. I'm enjoying Pokemon. Are you enjoying Pokemon? What do you think of the DLC? Let me know down below in the comment section. And which starter did you get from your egg hatches? Let me know down below. Okay, I'll see you next time. Goodbye now. Goodbye.